Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Hanson here. So, I wanted to go over some of the worksheets that I sent home yesterday to your parents. I have two that are review for you guys. This worksheet, which has our letters I, G, R, and D. So you can see below we have pictures. We have a picture of a robot. So I want you to think, what beginning sound do you hear when you say the word robot? When you know what sound and letter goes with that sound, you want to write that letter on this line. You only need to write it either lowercase or capital. You don't need to write both. So I'll need one letter right there. Then for our next one, we have a picture of a dad. So what sound do you hear at the beginning of dad? Write that letter on that line. Then on the bottom right here, we have a picture of a gate. So when you say the word gate, what letter goes with that sound? You're going to write that letter right there on the line. Then we have a picture of an igloo. What sound do you hear when you say the word igloo? Whatever letter goes with that sound, you're going to write it right here on the line. Then right here we have a girl. So what sound do you hear when you say the word girl? Whatever letter goes with that, you're going to put that letter right there on the line. And then our very last picture right here is a picture of a door. So what sound do you hear when you say the word door? You're going to write that letter right there on that line. So up here, you're going to trace these. Then here, you're going to write the letter that goes with each picture. Then for number 3, the directions say, have the children draw a picture of something whose name starts with the letter G, R, D, or the short I sound. So you have to think of words that begin with the G, R, D, or I sound, and you need to draw a picture. So then I know that you guys are able to connect those letters and those sounds with the pictures. So that's the first page that I sent. It's page 18 on the bottom, and trace the letters, write the letters next to the pictures, and then you're going to draw a picture that begins with the I, J, R, or D sound. And then you could send that over to me when you guys are done at the end of the week. Then we have another one that goes along with the I, G, R, and D letters. This one, which is page 19. I think that's the second set of the papers that I sent. And it says review words with I, G, R, and D. So I want you to look at the pictures. What is this a picture of? All of these words you can sound out. So for say example, this is what I want you to do. For number 1, we are going to look at our picture. What is that a picture of? It is a picture of a bag. So when I'm looking at my words down here, which word says bag? I can sound this first word out, bag. There's my word. So all I would need to do is circle the correct word. So just for fun, let's practice to see what the next word is next to bag. In, bin. So that word's bin. We know that's not a picture of a bin. So we circled our word bag. So I want you to go through each of these next 5 pictures, read the words, and then circle the correct word that matches the picture. So that one's page 19. I think it was the second page I sent with your packet. You guys can do that all by yourself. Now the next one that we're going to do today, this one's not the very next picture. So if you need to pause it and grab this paper, it says verbs, past, present, and future. So we are going to do this one together, and because I want to make sure that you guys are working on your handwriting and you guys have the correct answers in there so we understand all of our words with past, present, and future. So when we talk about past, present, and future words, remember we had to think of different ways how we can figure out if it's in the past or present. So I'm going to use my example of jump. So if I said Mrs. Hanson jumped, think about that. Is that in the past? Is that present? Or is that future tense? So when we say the word jumped, it has the ed on the end. So remember, with the ed, that means that it happened in the past. So if I said Mrs. Hanson jumped, I did that in the past. Now for the next one, if I said Mrs. Hanson jumps and I add an S on the end and take away that ed, is Mrs. Hanson doing that in the future, or am I doing that in the present? You're right. If I say Mrs. Hanson jumps, I'm doing it right now. So if I'm doing it right now, that means it's present tense. And then my very last example is Mrs. Hanson will jump. So if I add will at the beginning of jump, what does that mean? That means that I haven't done it yet. So if I haven't done it yet, that means it's future tense. So future tense would be Mrs. Hanson will jump. So let's look at this paper together. And we have our very first line, which says, yesterday, Sam blank. So when we have the word yesterday, is yesterday in the past, in the future, or right now in the present? So yesterday means that it happened in the past. So we need to look at our little picture of Sam right here. And what does it look like Sam is doing? So we have to write that verb down and make it past, present, or future. You're right, it looks like Sam is painting. So if we were to talk about yesterday, Sam painted, would we say yesterday Sam painted, yesterday Sam paints, or yesterday Sam will paint? We would add the ed on the end of our paint, and it would be the word painted, because painted would make that past tense, and we know that Sam did it yesterday. So let me write that down, and then I'll show you what I want it to look like. So then I want you to practice your very best handwriting and write the word painted. So yesterday, Sam painted. So if you guys need to take a minute to do that, you guys can pause it. And then we're going to do the next part, which is today, Sam. So if we are talking about today, that is present. That is happening right now. And we're going to say, we're going to add an S on the end of our word paint to make that present tense. So we are going to write our word paint, and then we are going to add the S. So then it has today, Sam paints. So first we have yesterday, Sam painted, and then we have today, Sam paints. So if you need to pause that right now so you can write that down, you can do that. And then our very last one for that section is tomorrow, Sam blank. So we have to think about our future tense. What do we add at the beginning of our future tense? We're going to add the word will. So tomorrow, Sam will paint. I want you to write the word will. Remember, if you don't have your spacer, you can use your finger because you're going to need a space between will and paint. So Mrs. Hanson's using her finger, and I'm going to go off the line a little bit, but that's okay. So tomorrow, Sam will paint. You see Mrs. Hanson wrote it super neat for you guys there. And then I need to make sure you have your space between will and paint. And then we can go to our next section where we talk about Teresa. Okay, so our bottom part we're going to do, it says, yesterday, Teresa blank. So let's look at our picture right here. Right here. What does it look like Teresa is doing? It looks like Teresa is writing. So we have to think about our verbs. Is it past? How we're going to do past, present, and future for the word write. So when we have the word write, and we know yesterday, Teresa, so we have to make that past tense. So we cannot just add ed on the end of write, the word write. So when for some words, we're going to have to change the way we even spell our word. So for this one, it's going to say, yesterday, Teresa wrote. So when we write the word wrote, we're changing the way we spell it, and we're changing the word completely. So it's going to be, yesterday, Teresa wrote. And when we have yesterday, Teresa wrote, we know that that is past tense because Teresa did that in the past and she did it yesterday. Okay, so next, now we're going to look at where it says, today, Teresa. So since we're talking about today, that is going to be present tense. So with present tense, we are not going to change the way we write the word write. It's still going to be the word write. It's not going to be the word wrote, because wrote would mean that it happened in the past. So for the word write, if we are going to have that Teresa is writing currently, so today Teresa writes. We are just going to add an S on it like we normally do. So you're going to write the word write. Right on that line as neat as you can, just like Mrs. Hanson. And we have our word writes. So if we have yesterday, Teresa wrote, that was our past tense. Today, Teresa writes, that's our present tense. And then now we're going to talk about tomorrow, Teresa. So when we are talking about tomorrow, that means that it hasn't happened yet. So if it hasn't happened yet, what kind of tense is that? That is future tense. So future tense means it hasn't happened yet. So when we are writing, or when we are thinking about the word write, what do we need to add to that to make it future tense? Right, we need to add the word will. So we're going to write, tomorrow, Teresa will write, meaning she hasn't done it yet. So you're going to write your word will, which will is one of our new sight words that we've been practicing. And then you're going to make sure you have your space. So if you don't have your spacer, you're going to use your finger, and you're going to write your word write right after that. So it will be, tomorrow, Teresa will write. So if you guys need to take a second, make sure that you have all of it, just like Mrs. Hanson. Maybe you can even pause it so you guys can look at this. So our first sentence is, yesterday Sam painted. Today Sam paints. Tomorrow Sam will paint. So that's our top. On the bottom it says, yesterday Teresa wrote. Today Teresa writes. Tomorrow, Teresa will write. So our first one, where it says, yesterday Sam painted, past tense. Today Sam paints, present tense. Tomorrow Sam will paint, future. Same thing on the bottom. Yesterday Teresa wrote, that's past tense. Today Teresa writes, that's present tense. And tomorrow Teresa will write, that is future tense. So I hope you guys all had fun with that. And if you guys have any questions at all, just let me know. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.